We constantly hear about how Trump and the Republicans love the troops, and the troops love them back when they send them to needless wars. But Bernie Sanders' polling numbers in that area tell a different story. An article from Foreign Policy, which is a website, came out and they analyzed the donations of military members and employees of the State Department, Justice Department, and Department of Homeland Security, just regular folks, and Bernie blew them out of the water. For everyone combined, Bernie Sanders had a huge lead on second place finisher Pete Buttigieg, which is interesting, as well as third place finisher Elizabeth Warren, who all came in front of Donald Trump, who came in at a measly fourth. Guess you love the troops, but they don't love you that much back, huh? It's not that reciprocal? Or is this another deep state conspiracy? But in all seriousness, to be fair, when it comes to just military members, Trump does do a little bit better, but Bernie Sanders is still at the top. He's still the number one by a country mile. Buttigieg is still firmly in second. Buttigieg is a veteran, it should be noted, and then Trump and Warren switch spots there. So this may be shocking to a lot of people, but I do think it's logical when you look at records. However, this is Foreign Policy FP, the website's explanation. Despite the presence of two veterans and an incumbent president in the race, no candidate has raised as much as Sanders in military contributions. A Sanders campaign aide pointed to the senator's promises to end the endless wars and the many years he has spent on the Veterans Affairs Committee as reasons for his popularity with military employees. The Veterans Affairs thing is a good point about his time there. He was the chair, I believe, starting in 2013, because the VA scandal broke in 2014, early 2014, I believe, right after he became the head of it. And then some people tried to blame it on him, including like the Daily Beast, which is now an establishment outlet. The VA was basically committing fraud, delaying care. It was inexcusable. That broke again immediately after he became the chair, and the Republicans, including Senator John McCain, by the way, a veteran himself, were trying to gut it. It's an organization that gives people care, so instead of just improving it, let's gut it. And Bernie Sanders had to deal with Republican Representative Jeff Miller in the House, who led the Veterans Affairs Committee in the House to fund the VA after fighting and clawing with Republicans for months. The House had offered zero money for VA improvements, while Sanders had asked for close to $9 billion. In the end, both sides agreed to $5 billion. Another $1.5 billion went for leases of 27 major medical facilities in 18 states and Puerto Rico. The two sides also agreed to create a Veterans Choice Fund and put $10 billion in it. The House, which had offered no due process to people being fired, agreed quickly to an appeal within a week, a decision within a month, and no pay for the duration of the appeal. Well, Sanders got some concessions from these extremely brutal people. But long story short, really, it's convoluted and I don't remember all the details, but the funding of the VA bill passed nearly unanimously in the House, and it passed nearly unanimously in the Senate. And the Republican House at that time, if you guys remember, was Tea Party nut jobs, and this was the most obstructionist part of the Obama era right at the end in the Senate as well. So when people talk about getting things done, this is how you get things done, right? People say, oh, Bernie's too leftist to get things done. No. He got things done for veterans, and that's in the record. And military members clearly remember that, and that's why he's far and away the candidate that they're donating most to based on that data, at least in 2019, which is where they took it from.